on today's show, we want to talk about a company that will be going public at some point soon. We do not have a public filing for this business, and that is Peleton. They have filed confidentially with the SEC, so there's some intent here to go public. We don't have a ton of specifics because we don't have the filing yet, but this was such an interesting story, and it tapped into such a big trend that you and I have both been following for quite some time that we wanted to discuss it, Dan.
Yeah, it's really interesting that this is a company that would seem to be one of these like huge investments. You're going to look at the numbers and find out they're losing all sorts of money in attaining customers. And the reality is they say they're profitable. They're raising money sort of to fend off competition, not because they really need the money. And they've kind of created a business model that we're just starting to see others sort of latch onto.
Yeah, it's kind of a new idea. For the people that are not familiar, Peleton is probably best known for their stationary bike product. They also have a treadmill product, and they're working on a digital offering as well. But their basic product offering is they have a package. The low-level one runs about $2,200 for their stationary bike. That gets you the hardware. And then you have membership payments of $39 a month. The treadmill costs about $4,300 and has a same membership model. And the idea here is you have this fitness equipment that you can put in your home or perhaps in a shared space like a hotel. And then the membership payments get you access to this entire digital library of workouts.
Yeah, they've created a market that's now called connected fitness. And what this does is it brings some of the communal spirit of, taking a spin class. When you go to a gym, there's some encouragement from the teacher, from seeing students around you. So with Peleton, obviously you can do taped classes, but you can also do live classes from their studios. And you're getting sort of that interaction, and it makes it more communal. In theory, it kind of makes you want to do it more than just the traditional exercise bike that's a very one-on-one experience.
Yeah, they're trying to build that community and take advantage of the digital abilities that are out there. There are some that are likening it a little bit to the Netflix of fitness. We like using that type of catch-all so much. It's so tempting for us. And they've decided to dive a little bit more into digital recently. They really started out with the stationary bikes, I think back in 2014, and are now giving an all-digital product as well. It's a Peleton app, I think for about $20 a month. You can access their full library of workouts. So if you have an iPad or something like that at home, you can have these kind of curated and specific workouts targeting a lot of the stuff that you want to be working on.
And it's worth noting that that's a very crowded space. There are a lot of workout apps. I actually, in the gym today, saw someone following along on their phone and doing an app. There's a lot of services for that. But with Peleton, their goal is that's almost like an add-on. If you've already paid for the gym and their services, that's a way to sort of use it when you're traveling, when you're not at your physical bike. Because the negative of having your Peleton bike or treadmill is that it's not all that portable. You're probably not going to bring it with you on vacation.
No, it is a fairly large piece of fitness equipment. I don't think anyone's bringing that to the beach house for the summer, if they're only there for 2 weeks. I think it's the kind of thing that tends to stay in one spot in the house.
Yeah, and it's, for any of you who are thinking, this doesn't look all that different from the exercise bike in your gym, except instead of the screen being a television or maybe even something that shows you a little bit of terrain or gives you some numbers on your workout, it's a live class where you can see the teacher or a taped class where you can see the teacher.
Yeah, it's definitely worth looking at some of the videos, the promotional videos, to get a better sense of what this looks like for anyone that has not attended a fitness class before or hasn't seen one online, because there is this jazz to it. There's this excitement to it that I think is probably really motivating for people that are using Peleton devices.
Yeah, and there's also, if you want to check one out, there's a pretty strong retail presence. We joked about this a little bit on Slack, but look around your area and whichever one the nice mall is, the mall that has all the fancier stores, Peleton often they're kind of pop-up kiosks, but they almost are like pop-up exercise studios where you could get on one, you could try it out, you could sort of get some of the excitement of how this would work. And, forgetting the price and the competition, it is a pretty cool product.
Let's dive into some of the numbers that we do have. Like I said, we're a little limited here because we don't have their financials yet, but we do know that since beginning selling bikes in 2014, the company has sold more than 400,000 bikes, and they have over 500,000 subscribers for its memberships. And then based on some comments from management, we know they're profitable, seemingly, and that 2018 revenue was somewhere north of 700 million, which was up from about 400 million in 2017. Obviously, a lot of growth going on here, Dan.
So there's one number that's absolutely huge to me. They say they've retained 96% of their customers. And that tells me a couple of things. One, when you watch the commercials for this, it's the beautiful people, and their Peloton it's always in some amazing place, like a vista behind them. And it seems to me that the early adopters of this would be people who are already pretty good about their fitness routine. So if they can hold on to those people, as it gets down to, I don't want to say regular people, but people who are not as committed to fitness, who sort of do this and see it as kind of the miracle cure, I'm going to guess the retention rates are going to stay pretty high, because once you've invested $2,200, $2,400 in buying the bike, it's really hard to say, I'm going to cancel my $39 subscription, which turns this bike into effectively a coat rack.
Yeah, there's got to be some element there of the sunk cost, right? Incentivizing you to be more active.
Yeah, and $39, and I'm actually very surprised the number was that low. I'd never looked into the cost before. And when you look at your gym membership, if you cancel your gym membership, you might as well just put on social media, "I've given up," while you're eating a tub of ice cream or just squirting cookie dough directly into your mouth. So you're going to get a little bit of that gym logic of, hey, I know I didn't use the Peloton last month, but I'm really going to use it every day next month. And that will work for them if they can continue to get the next level of people into the product. Because what I don't think they're going to do is the replacement cycle on these is going to be very, very long. Bike technology does not change that much.